on the dissemination of one variety of English, what I call a super dialect, that is, received standard or BBC English or public school English, whatever you call it. And it's only spoken by 1 in 50 people in this country, something of that sort.
This is London Calling.
Now, here is Marion Cram, who is going to give you another of her garden talks.
I want to tell you about my little pond.
The invention of the wireless turned public school English into BBC English. The radio did for the spoken language what printing had done for the written. Listeners could hear for the first time a definitive English speech. The voice of information, culture, and the West End stage, in accents that now seem as dated as the clothes.
Fog is getting thicker. It's terrifying.
Don't worry. I know every inch of the river.
What's that?
Shh. It's gulls. We've disturbed them. They rest at night on the barges.
Better keep closer to the bank. They'll give us away.
Why do you hesitate?
I'm not hesitating. He deserves to die.
The immaculate crime.
World War II was the finest hour for BBC English, the voice of Britain resounding with authority and defiance.
This is London. All cinemas, theatres, and other places of entertainment are to be closed immediately until further notice.
When the war broke out, I happened to be in Wellington in New Zealand. I heard Neville Chamberlain speak. But the announcer, to me, was just as important as Neville Chamberlain. It was really some kind of extraordinary equation.
This is Pat Butler calling British forces in Gibraltar.
This is Marjorie Anderson calling British forces in India and Ceylon.
This is Michael Brooke calling Malta.
It used to stand alone like some great isolated supreme power of language, that what it said was both correctly said and was the truth.
I can hear machine gun fire, but I can't see our Spitfires. There must be somewhere there. Oh, here's one coming down now. Oh boy, look at them going, and look how the mission... Hey, that is really grand. And there's a Spitfire just behind the first two. He'll get them.
Under the command of General Eisenhower, Allied naval forces began landing Allied armies this morning on the northern coast of France.
Victory in Europe, 1945, and the voice of Edward R. Murrow symbolizes the growing importance of American English.
This is London. Tonight, London is a city of song and celebration and thanksgiving. Air raid shelters are as remote as the covered wagon.
Although it was because of the British Empire that received pronunciation became so prestigious worldwide, with the decline of the British Empire, although one might have expected at once the focus of English to have been replaced at once by the new power of English, namely the power of American English, where there are 5 times as many speakers as there are of British English, we had in fact moved into a different type of political and social and economic era.
The era of decolonization. The British left, but the language stayed. India's first Prime Minister Nehru declared that English should be replaced by Hindi. But the Queen's English was not so easily dethroned.
The impression was that in the post-colonial period, there would be a shift, a drastic shift from English to native languages. So what was earlier predicted was that after 47, there would be doom. That was end of English. But that changed now.
With its 14 competing linguistic traditions, India needs a linked language. And English has some advantages over Hindi.
English is considered, in some sense, a neutral language. If Hindi is imposed on someone, it is somebody's first language. Or if, let's say, another Indian language or another African language is imposed, it is somebody's. They have certain privileges. They are the native speakers. English, from that point of view, in the local context now, post-independence context, is neutral.
Besides, English had been indelibly stamped into the Indian bureaucratic mind. Today, among the scribes of Delhi, English is still the #1 language of civil administration.
This is for civil marriage. That's right. Hindu or Christian? Hindu, please. Hindu, please. 50 rupees should be deposited in room number 1. Thank you very much. Yes. And after 1 month notification, the idiom will be permitted you. In the whole world, the common language is English. In all world. Therefore, this is also common in India. It is popular English. It is good English. Yes.
The official business of government, politics, and the law is also largely conducted in English.
Please wait.
Litigants can sue in any language, but most choose English. We counted 133 typists here at the law courts in Delhi, but only one offered a service in Hindi.
Sir, it is submitted here for your kind and sympathetic consideration at the earliest moment. Dated daily the so-and-so, yours faithfully, signed so-and-so the applicant.
You know what people don't understand? There are more Indians speaking better English than ever before, and there are more Indians speaking worse English than ever before, and that's because the ratio of both has gone up since independence. It's just a question of numbers. Let's say there are 750 million people in our country. 10% would be literate in a fairly proficient way. That makes a cool 70 million people. And that means more than there are people in England. And books too. We are the 3rd largest English language book producers in the world. And the numbers increase every year, they don't decrease. In fact, English is now one of the family of Indian languages. And there's no way that can be changed.
Teach me, O Lord, thy holy ways, and give me an obedient mind, that in thy service, I may find my soul's delight from day to day.
The next generation is also learning English. It is indispensable to a career, and it's an essential part of a good education.
Girls, have you finished your assignments? Submit your files on Wednesday morning. Start from there.
English is also socially desirable.
Let's find one. No, I read this. Can you? Yeah, just a minute. Match for 20-year-old Hindu Brahmin, an extremely good-looking, smart, convent-educated girl. Reply to box so-and-so.
It's understood that if a girl is convent-educated, means that she knows English.
Every guy in today's society wants his wife to know English because he wants to move around in clubs and go to movies and meet his friends.
Today, 5% of the guys may not insist on English-speaking wives, but I think 95% of them do definitely consider English as a prerequisite for brides.
To be husband would certainly like his wife to be equally educated, if not better than him. And educated does mean knowing English.
We are still very much influenced by what the Britishers left us with. You know, it was always English represents class. Whether it meant anything, whether